For this Madden tips and plays video breakdown, we're going to show you a defensive blitz setup from the 4-3-even-6-1 that's going to bring some B-gap pressure from this particular defender, which happens to be the right end. In this case, it's going to be Von Miller, and you're going to see him shoot right through that B-gap and apply that pressure. Plus, you're going to get some outside pressure as well. The 46-even-6-1 Sam Will blitz is one of those defenses that brings some pressure from the outside. The problem with this particular defense, as you can see on the screen there, as far as from the play diagram, it is a cover zero defense. As far as the playbooks are concerned, you can find this one on all these playbooks. For the video breakdown, we'll be using the Bills playbook. This blitz setup we're about to show from the 4-6-even-6-1 Sam Will blitz is very simple to do. It really doesn't require a whole lot as far as pre-snap adjustments. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. And with this one, as I've already mentioned here in the opening, I talked about this particular defender right here, which is going to be the right end. Obviously, the faster the right end, the better chance that you're going to have as far as getting pressure on the quarterback. So keep that in mind as you're going to set this one up. In this case, we got Von Miller, which is perfect for this particular blitz I'm about to show. So what we're going to do here is, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and spread the defensive line out. And then you want to take control of this linebacker who's right here. Now, again, it all depends as far as what formation you're up against. You might have to make some other adjustments as far as who's going to blitz. But in this case, since he's covering a fullback, that's the one I want to go ahead and blitz here. Or at least manually blitz. Now keep this in mind, I am actually going to control him, and then I'm going to go out and watch, and if the fullback goes out, I go out and cover him. If he doesn't, I can either rush him or I can drop back into some type of coverage and take away maybe something coming over the short middle or something like that. But that's really up to you, and it's just your preference. Now the only other thing I didn't mention to you guys is you can go ahead and do base align, and if you want to go ahead and do press man coverage, you can as well. That's all optional. It doesn't really affect the blitz. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hot route that linebacker to blitz. And you're just going to bring him up into the A gap between, in this case, it's going to be between this center and the right guard. And your blitz angle is going to be shooting somewhere in here, but keep in mind, you're not going to rush him. You're going to go ahead and look to cover the fullback, in this case, if he was to go out. So let's go ahead and run this, and you'll see how this one works. And it does bring some pretty intense pressure. And as I mentioned already, it's going to come from this guy right here for the most part. You probably will end up getting some outside pressure as well. You should get it from these two outside linebackers, at least one of them for sure. So let's go ahead and run this, and you'll see what happens with it. And then right there, you just want to go ahead and drop back and take away anything that goes on as far as the coverages, as far as covering that fullback, such as what I just did on your screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the X's and O's of the play. From the top-down view in instant replay, we can really break down the X's and O's of the play and kind of show you exactly how this particular blitz worked. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here with the telestrator. And as you look at it, as I've already mentioned, we're going to look to get pressure coming from this guy right here. What we want to do here is we want to go ahead and get pressure through the B gap here with this guy here. So he's going to end up shooting through that B gap as you look at it, and apply that pressure on the quarterback as he comes through this B gap. He's the one that's going to get that pressure pretty much every single time with this particular setup, at least against this formation. You'll want to test it against some of the other formations in the game. Now, we're also looking to get some outside pressure as well. Now, I can't always guarantee it you're going to get from both of these linebackers. In this case, when I did this setup, we only got pressure coming off the edge from the left outside linebacker, actually got pressure. But on occasion, you may also get it from the right outside linebacker. So just keep that in mind. You may get that and find it that works that way. So that's it as far as with that. Now, as far as the pass blocking goes, the way this particular defense works is against this particular pass blocking scheme that these guys have as far as on the offensive side of things, is that this left tackle is going to kick out, and he's going to go ahead and block this linebacker right here. And then to the inside of him, which is this left guard, he's going to go ahead and look to block this guy, which is going to be the weak side defensive tackle, as you see on your screen there. And the reason that we spread the defensive line out is because we want to create a bigger gap where this linebacker, or excuse me, this defensive end can shoot through that B gap. So that's the whole reason. So he's going to shoot through this B gap. That's the whole reason that we spread the defensive line out, because we want to create a bigger gap. Because what's going to happen is that this left tackle, as I pointed out, he's going to kind of kick out the block to the outside. So he's going to get a little bit wider. And then that's going to create a bigger gap where he can shoot through between him, the left guard, and the left tackle, where the right end can blitz through. So that's the idea of the spreading out the defensive line. The other thing is, as far as with this particular offensive lineman, which is going to be the center, now he's going to look to block. Now keep in mind, we're not actually rushing that linebacker. We're in control of him, but we're looking to drop him back and defend whoever might be going out, whoever he's supposed to be covering. We're just going to fake blitz, but we want that center to at least look to block him, because if that does, it really makes the blitz work as well. The other thing I want to go ahead and talk about as far as what the blocking goes happens to be this guy, which is this right tackle. Now, again, he's going to go ahead and look to block this left end, and that's why this guy gets in as far as this left outside linebacker is allowed to put some pressure on the quarterback, is because he doesn't get blocked, because as you look at it, the fullback goes out as far as the pass route. So that's the reason that this works. Now, keep in mind, all 5 of these receivers are going out. Later on in the video breakdown, I do want to show what happens when we run this with at least a 6-man pass protection scheme, so you guys can see how that works. But other than that, let's go ahead and run this as far as getting the pressure and showing you how to get that pressure. You can see right there how we got in there real quick. Pretty darn quick, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the ticker here and see how fast we actually get in on this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to bring up the ticker for you guys. I always like bringing up the ticker to show you how these blitzes really work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get it going. And then you can see right there, it's about just under 2 seconds probably right there. Let's go ahead and reset that one more time and see if we can get that, make sure that's about accurate. It seems like it's pretty accurate. Let's see how he gets in there. So it's right around in that area, right around 1 or 2 seconds. It might be a little bit, somewhere between 1.8 and 2 seconds, I'm guessing. Maybe I'm a little bit off on that. Let's go ahead and just do it one more time, because I really want to get this thing right here as far as with the pressure goes here. So right there, we get 1.85. So it's somewhere in that 1.85 to 2 second range as far as getting pressure on the quarterback with this particular defense. So if you guys take a look at that one, it definitely brings it as far as bringing the pressure. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go back into an actual play, run the play again, but this time I'm going to have the fullback stay in the pass block so you guys can see how this one works. All right, this time we've got the fullback staying in the pass block. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys so you can see clearly that he's staying in the pass block. So there's the fullback. He is in fact staying in the pass block. So let's go ahead and set this one up. As I've already pointed out, very simple to set up. You go ahead and spread the defensive line out. Take control of this linebacker. You're going to re-hot route him to blitz, such as you see on your screen. And all you're really looking for is to see if that fullback goes out. If the fullback stays in the pass block, as I've already mentioned, you can go ahead and either rush him or you can drop him back into pass rush, back into pass coverage. I'm going to go ahead and let him rush the quarterback. And let's watch what happens here to see if we get that same type of pressure on the quarterback. And right there, you can see we get that. This time we end up still getting that B gap pressure, but rather than coming from the left outside linebacker, we actually end up getting it from the right outside linebacker. Let's go back into instant replay and take a look at it. So the fullback is staying in the pass block to the right, so he's going to be going in this direction. And more than likely, as you saw already, he went ahead and blocked that left outside linebacker. But it doesn't matter as far as the rest of the blitz, as far as the way we did the setup, because we're still going to get pressure coming from the right end, in this case, right there through the B gap, just like he did before. But instead of the left outside linebacker applying the pressure from the outside, we're going to get it from the right outside linebacker as well, who's going to apply that pressure, such as what you're about to see on your screen. So let's go ahead and run through it. And you can see we clearly get that same type of pressure. Now, one of the things as you're watching here, and this is what I was kind of talking about earlier when I was running it before, when the fullback was actually going out, where this offensive lineman, if you remember right, actually picked up the blitzing linebacker here. He actually picked him up. Sometimes what will happen is he'll get confused and he'll look to block to the inside, such as what he's doing here. Here he's looking to block to the inside, but he can't get over fast enough. And that allows this guy to get a free release. So you got to watch for that. Sometimes that'll happen even if the fullback goes out. So what I suggest doing with this, if you guys get some time tonight or tomorrow, whenever you get some time, kind of lab this one and see what it works against some of the other formations. But it's definitely a defense that's going to bring some pressure on the quarterback fairly consistently, because I've ran against some of the other formations as well, and it's worked pretty good for me. So this is just one blitz I wanted to show you guys so far this season that I felt did a pretty nice job as far as bringing that outside pressure, but also getting some inside pressure. In this case, it's going to be the B gap. So definitely check this one out. It's called 4-3 even 6-1 Sam Will Blitz.